Showers of blessings, everyone. Welcome to Living Single and Satisfied, where we encourage singles to enjoy their life one day at a time. So, today I want to talk about being an independent woman or an independent man outside of being in a relationship, as well as maintaining your level of independence once you do enter into a relationship. Now, when you're single, being an independent person, you do whatever it takes to make sure your bills are paid, your household needs are met, your children's needs are met if you have any, by any means necessary. You are not dependent upon anyone else to take care of you. You do whatever it is that you have to do to make sure that you and your household is taken care of. Now, sure, we all fall short at some point, and we need help from people. But independent people do not need help on a constant basis. If you have someone paying your mortgage or paying your rent every month, you are not independent. I'm sorry, I don't mean to knock your hustle, but if you are getting help from someone on a constant basis every month, someone is helping you pay your rent, buy your groceries, pay your bills, that's not being an independent person. An independent person will take on a second job if they need to in order to make sure all of their needs are met. So it's important that you are an independent person before you get into a relationship, because it allows you to be self-sufficient. It helps you out once you do get into a relationship, because you won't be so dependent upon anyone else. And so it's good to have a level of independence before you get into a relationship. And then once you do enter into a relationship, it's very, very important that you maintain a level of independence. Sure, you depend upon your mate, to help you out in certain areas if you need to, but never put all of your eggs in one basket. Never be so dependent upon your mate or upon your husband or upon your wife that if that relationship ends, that you won't be able to make it. Always keep your skills sharpened, because you never know, what the outcome of the relationship is going to be. Always make sure that you're able to make some kind of monetary contribution to your own life, and not be so dependent upon your mate paying all your bills. I often think about the movie, Diary of a Mad Black Woman. In that movie, she was sure her husband was a successful lawyer. He was very successful at what he did, but she lost herself in her husband. She put all of her dependency upon her husband. He paid all the bills. Everything was in his house, in his name. And she basically lost herself. She basically gave up her own life for her husband's life. And I want us to avoid that. Again, sure, we're dependent upon our mate to help us out, but never be so dependent upon someone else that if the relationship ends, you won't be able to survive. A lot of times when we give up our independence in relationships and the relationship is going sour, we try to hold on by any means necessary. We take unnecessary treatment just to hold on to someone because we're fearful of being alone, because we know we can't make it. But if you maintain your level of independence in a relationship, if you still, sharpen your skills and make sure you're still making money while you're in the relationship and saving money while you're in the relationship, you won't be so dependent and so prone, to hold on to an unhealthy relationship in fear of not being able to survive. And even when it comes to kids, you can't put all of your time and energy, and stop your life for your kids, because at some point your kids are going to turn into teenagers. They're no longer going to need you. And then what? So what I'm saying is you have to have a level of balance. You have to continue to live your life as well as take care of your kids. You have to continue to live your life as well as take care of your husband or your mate. There has to be a level of balance. You cannot totally lose your independence, whether you're in a relationship or out of a relationship. It's very important that you're still able to survive, whether you have someone or you don't have someone. And it all starts with the mind. With your mind. Make up in your mind that, hey, I'm not going to lose my independence. I'm not going to lose my level of independence once I get into a relationship. And even before you get into a relationship, tell yourself, I need to be self-sufficient enough so that when I do get into a relationship, I won't be so clingy. A lot of times that's another thing. We're so insufficient, or we're not self-sufficient before we get into a relationship, and then once we do get into a relationship, we're clingy. We lose our life, we drop our friends because we have somebody. You can't do that. Even once you get into a relationship, you still need to have time for your mate and time for your friends or time for your family. There has to be a balance. If you have a mate that's trying to get you to stop hanging around your friends, because you're in a relationship, that's an unhealthy relationship. If your mate loves you, they're going to push you to have a life outside of them. So again, I want to encourage you and to think about having that level of independence before you get into a relationship, as well as once you do get into a relationship. Don't lose yourself. Don't give your total life over to a mate or to your kids. Give them time, yes, but you can't just have your life so consumed with another individual that you lose yourself. So I want to encourage you to live your life enjoyably and live your life with a level of independence, and just be strong, knowing that you don't have to depend on anyone for anything on a constant basis, and it'll make you feel good about yourself. So again, this is Living Single and Satisfied, and I encourage you to have a level of independence before you get into a relationship, and even once you get into a relationship. May God continue to bless you and keep you, and showers of blessings.